Hello everybody, this is Kate Wisby from Kate Wisby Music. So today, in our tutorial today, we're going to talk about the types of minor scales. So this is a little intense, so enjoy. This might be a little higher level than some of you, and for others, not so much. So we will see how much you learn. It's fun. It's a lot to learn. So not only do we have major and minor scales, but we have different types of minor scales. So that's something that some of you have talked about. In our lessons, usually for piano lessons, I start with major scales, and we start with pentascales to get used to those 5 fingers and using all those fingers. From there, we move on to octave scales. So you do 1, 2, 3, all the way up and all the way down. So you do all 8 notes. We do octave scales. And with that, I try to add in arpeggios. So with pentascales, we only do those 3 fingers, 1, 3, and 5, come back, and a chord. When it comes to more advanced students, we're going to do 2 octave arpeggios. And so it'd be 1, 2, you go through it and do it in 2 octaves and come back down. As we get more in advanced, what I then add on is different minor scales. So usually after that, we talk about harmonic minor scales. And that's what we're going to talk about right here, is when you sharp the 7th note of the scale. So not only do you get the minor scale of a major key, but then you would sharp that 7th note in the scale. That's something that we work on first, and then we talk about these different ones as well after that. So the most common one that I use in my lessons that a lot of my students use are called harmonic minor scales. So harmonic minor, you would take that major key like C major, that we're going to use an easy one today, C major, and you're going to go down 3 half steps to find that minor key. And that was A minor, right? So you take A minor, and instead of it being a natural minor, which means you use the key signature of the major key. So in natural minor, which is the key signature of the major key A, there are no sharps or flats in A. So it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, and then you go back down, A, G, F, E, D, C, B, A. To be honest, you don't see many songs in natural minor, but it is still fun to learn. So that's one that's really easy to kind of get. It's the same key signature as the major key. As you get more complex into the other minor scales, you have harmonic minor, melodic minor, and Dorian. So Dorian's not used that often. We'll talk more about it, but it's not used that often. In harmonic minor, you're going to sharp the 7th note in the scale. So since we're in we're in minor scale of C major, which is A. That was the natural minor. There's no sharps or flats. Now to make it a harmonic minor, what you're going to do is sharp the 7th note. So you're going to make when I say sharp, you mean just bring it up a half step. So even if it is already a sharp, you're going to add a half step above that and make it even higher. So bring the 7th note a half step up to get the harmonic minor scale. So that one would sound like this. Kind of Arabian, doesn't it? It's kind of a cool sound. So from there, that's harmonic minor. The next minor is called melodic minor. So it's like the one we talked about before. It's like harmonic minor. You do sharp the 7th just like you did for harmonic, but now you also sharp the 6th note in the scale. So it's A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. But going down, you make it natural. So you do not keep it. You go back to the normal key signature. So then it goes back A, G, F, E, D, C, B, A. So this is melodic minor. Are you ready to hear it? A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. So this is what it sounds like. Oh, sorry. One more time. That is a melodic minor scale. Now, last but not least, we're going to talk about something that not many people actually use often. It's used occasionally. It's called a Dorian minor scale. So it's basically a minor sound. So for this one, it can start on any note, and you're using the scale of the natural notes, and it starts on D. So for instance, in A, it would be A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, add that sharp to the 6th note of the scale, G, A, and then you go back down, A, G, F sharp, E, D, C, B, A. So you're adding just the 6th note is sharp on that one. But a Dorian, you can start. So another way to explain it, because it's a very hard one, and I was trying to explain it and realized it'd be a hard one to explain. Another way to deal with this is that Dorian begins one whole step lower. The relative major of a Dorian begins one whole step lower. So for example, D Dorian has the same key signature as C major scale, right? It's a weird, Dorian is just this one, right? So that's the only difference. So if you were to look at a natural scale versus a Dorian scale, the natural scale would have a flat on the sixth note, and this one you would add it up a half step. It'd be a sharp. So that's the only difference, is that it goes up a half step on the sixth note of the scale to make it a Dorian scale. Basically, major and minor scales were traditionally the basis for Western music. But jazz theory also recognizes other scales, which is where Dorian comes in play. Especially in the medieval church modes, they were using this. The most useful of this is a scale based on Dorian, which is called Dorian minor, because it's a basic minor sound. Like any minor scale, Dorian minor may start on any note, but like Dorian mode, it's illustrated as natural notes that begin on D. So, like I said, basically, it's in any key signature, but you are sharpening the sixth note in that to make it a Dorian. So I hope that was helpful to you. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. That's what I'm here for. My hope is to do a course. If you're interested in doing some more theory with me, please email me and we'll start a personalized theory session. So my email is katewisbymusic@gmail.com. Thank you so much and have a great day. Have a good one. Bye.